Have you ever locked eyes with someone, a stranger, a lover, an enemy, and felt a jolt, like the universe itself whispered, "This is no accident." Those moments aren't random. They're not chance encounters or cruel twists of fate. According to Jung, every person who crosses your path is a mirror, a message, a sacred assignment from your soul. Welcome to Jung's Psyche Hub, where we're diving into 5 shocking truths about why people enter your life. Through the lens of Carl Jung's powerful concept of synchronicity, from the friend who lifted you up to the heartbreak that tore you apart, every connection is a piece of your soul's puzzle, guiding you to awaken your true self. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." So, what if that betrayal wasn't bad luck, but a divine detour? What if that stranger's words were a wake-up call from the universe? Stick with us to uncover how these encounters shape you, heal you, and lead you to wholeness. Drop a comment. Who changed your life in a single moment? Hit like, subscribe, and let's unravel the mystery together at Jung Psyche Hub. Have you ever met someone at the exact moment you needed them? As if the universe orchestrated it. A stranger says something that shifts your entire perspective. Or a friend walks into your life right when you're at a crossroads. These aren't just happy accidents, they're what Carl Jung called synchronicity, the mysterious force that weaves meaning into the fabric of our lives. Welcome to Chapter 1 of our journey at Jung Psyche Hub, where we'll uncover the first shocking truth. The people who enter your life are not random. They're divine messages from the universe, perfectly timed to reflect your soul's deepest needs. Through Carl Jung's lens of synchronicity, we'll see how these encounters are cosmic winks, guiding you toward awakening. Carl Jung defined synchronicity as meaningful coincidences that can't be explained by cause and effect. It's when 2 seemingly unrelated events align in a way that feels too perfect to be chance, like meeting someone who says exactly what you needed to hear, right when you needed to hear it. Carl Jung believed these moments are orchestrated by the collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of human experience that connects us all. When someone enters your life, they're not just a person, they're a mirror, reflecting parts of your psyche that are ready to be seen. Maybe it's a wound crying for healing, a strength you've forgotten, or a truth you've been avoiding. Carl Jung said, "The meeting of 2 personalities is like the contact of 2 chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." That's synchronicity at work, a spark that changes you forever. Let's meet Anna, a 27-year-old artist who felt lost after a painful breakup, struggling with self-doubt. She wandered into a cafe one rainy afternoon, questioning if she'd ever find her purpose. At the counter, she struck up a conversation with a stranger named Maya, an older woman with a warm smile. Maya, a fellow artist, shared a story about her own struggles and said, "Sometimes, you have to lose everything to find yourself." Those words hit Anna like a lightning bolt. They weren't just advice, they felt like a message from the universe, perfectly timed for her darkest moment. Over the next few months, Anna and Maya became friends, and Maya's encouragement helped Anna rediscover her passion for painting. Was it luck that Anna met Maya that day? Carl Jung would say, no, it was synchronicity. A soul contract activated at the precise moment Anna was ready to grow. Have you ever had a moment like that, where someone's presence felt like a cosmic nudge? This is the first shocking truth: the universe speaks through people, and synchronicity is its language. Carl Jung believed that life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you, delivering exactly the encounters you need to evolve. That friend who betrayed you, they weren't a mistake. They were a mirror, showing you where you needed boundaries. That lover who broke your heart, they were a divine interruption, cracking open your illusions to reveal your worth. Carl Jung taught that synchronicity works through the collective unconscious, where your soul's needs align with the world's events. When you're ready to face a truth, whether it's about love, fear, or self-worth, the universe sends someone to hold up the mirror. It's not random, it's a sacred design. A choreography of souls orchestrated to awaken you. But how do you recognize these moments of synchronicity? Carl Jung's answer lies in awareness. Start by noticing the coincidences in your life. Maybe you keep running into the same person, or someone says something that echoes a thought you've been wrestling with. These are clues from the universe, signals that something deeper is at play. For Anna, the clue was Maya's words, which felt like they were meant for her alone. Carl Jung would call this an acausal connecting principle, a moment where the inner world, your thoughts, feelings, and the outer world, people, events align in a way that feels meaningful. The key is to stay open, to listen to your intuition, that gut feeling, that shiver down your spine. When someone speaks, it's your soul recognizing a message. Here's a practical tip. Keep a synchronicity journal. Every day, write down one coincidence involving a person in your life. Maybe it's a stranger who smiled at you when you felt low, or a friend who called right when you needed them. Note how it made you feel and what it might be teaching you. Over time, you'll start to see patterns, moments where the universe seems to be speaking through people. For Anna, journaling revealed that Maya's arrival wasn't the only coincidence in her life. She noticed other encounters, like a teacher who praised her art, or a book that fell off a shelf, that all pointed to her rediscovering her confidence. Carl Jung believed that, by bringing these moments into consciousness, you align with your soul's purpose, turning fate into growth. Synchronicity isn't just about happy meetings, it can also come through pain. The person who hurts you, who walks away without explanation, is often the universe's loudest messenger. Carl Jung argued that these encounters force you to face your shadow, the parts of yourself you've buried, like fear or self-doubt. When Anna's ex left her, it felt like the end of the world. But that pain led her to the cafe, to Maya, to her own rebirth as an artist. Carl Jung would say her breakup was a synchronistic event, a painful but necessary push toward her true self. The universe doesn't send comfort, it sends clarity. And sometimes that clarity comes wrapped in heartbreak. Let's pause and reflect. Who's walked into your life at just the right moment, as if sent by something bigger? Maybe it was a kind stranger, a challenging co-worker, or even someone who broke your heart. Carl Jung reminds us that these aren't accidents, they're synchronicity. The universe's way of whispering, it's time to grow. Have you ever met someone who got under your skin, pushing every button you didn't even know you had? Maybe they irritated you, triggered you, or left you questioning yourself in ways that felt uncomfortable yet strangely familiar. These aren't just annoying encounters, they're mirrors reflecting the hidden parts of your psyche. In Carl Jung's world, these people are sent to show you your shadow, the unconscious parts of yourself you've buried, ignored, or denied. Welcome to Chapter 2 at Jung Psyche Hub, where we'll uncover the second shocking truth. The people who challenge you most are often your greatest teachers, reflecting your shadow to push you toward wholeness. Through Carl Jung's lens, we'll see how these mirrors reveal what you've been avoiding and why they're essential to your soul's growth. Carl Jung described the shadow as the part of you that holds everything you don't want to face: your fears, insecurities, anger, or shame. It's the side of you that you push down, hoping it stays hidden. But Carl Jung believed the shadow doesn't stay quiet. It projects itself onto the world, showing up in the people you meet. That coworker who criticizes you endlessly, they might be mirroring your own self-doubt. The friend who betrays your trust, they could be reflecting your fear of abandonment. Carl Jung said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. These people aren't random. They're synchronistic messengers, sent by the universe to make your unconscious conscious. When you clash with someone, it's not just about them, it's about what they're showing you about you." Let's meet David, a 32-year-old software engineer who always prided himself on being calm and collected. But when a new co-worker, Rachel, joined his team, everything changed. Rachel was blunt, dismissive, and seemed to target David's ideas in meetings. Her criticism stung, leaving him angry and defensive. At first, David labeled her as toxic, venting to friends about her arrogance. But one night, unable to sleep, he journaled about why Rachel got to him so much. He realized her harshness echoed his own inner critic, the voice that whispered he wasn't good enough, that his work was never perfect. Rachel wasn't just a co-worker. She was a mirror, reflecting David's buried self-doubt. When he started working on his confidence, Rachel's words lost their sting. Their clashes weren't random. They were a synchronistic wake-up call, pushing David to face his shadow. Sound familiar? Who in your life has pushed your buttons in a way that felt too personal to be coincidence? This is the second shocking truth. The people who trigger you are mirrors of your shadow, sent to help you grow. Carl Jung taught that the universe uses others to show us what we've hidden from ourselves. The shadow isn't your enemy. It's a teacher, holding the keys to your individuation, the process of becoming your whole self. But facing the shadow is tough. It's easier to blame the person who annoys you than to ask, what part of me are they reflecting for David? Rachel's criticism mirrored his fear of failure, rooted in a childhood where he felt he had to be perfect to be loved. Carl Jung would say Rachel was no accident. She was a divine appointment, sent to help David integrate his shadow and reclaim his confidence. The people who challenge you most are often the ones the universe chooses to crack open your illusions. So, how do you work with these shadow mirrors? Carl Jung's answer is to approach them with curiosity, not judgment. Instead of reacting with anger or avoidance, pause and ask what their presence reveals about you. Are they triggering a fear, a wound, or a belief you've buried? This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about understanding the lesson. For David, journaling helped him see that Rachel's behavior wasn't personal. It was a reflection of his own insecurities. By facing his shadow, he didn't just improve his relationship with Rachel, he grew stronger in himself. Carl Jung believed that integrating the shadow transforms you, turning pain into power. The people who irritate you aren't here to ruin your day. They're here to help you become whole. Here's a practical tip. Try the mirror exercise. The next time someone triggers you, take 10 minutes to journal. Write down what bothers you about them. Be specific. Then ask, what does this remind me of? Is there a part of me I'm avoiding? Look for patterns from your past, like childhood experiences or old wounds. For David, this exercise revealed his fear of not being enough, tied to years of seeking approval. By naming it, he could start healing it. Carl Jung taught that bringing the shadow into consciousness weakens its grip, allowing you to grow. This exercise isn't easy. It might bring up uncomfortable truths, but it's a powerful step toward transformation. Try it, and you might be surprised what you uncover. But shadow work isn't just about pain. It's about liberation. Carl Jung believed that the shadow holds not just wounds, but untapped strength. When David faced his self-doubt, he discovered a resilience he didn't know he had. He started speaking up in meetings, not to prove Rachel wrong, but to honor his own voice. The people who trigger you are often the universe's way of saying, it's time to claim your power. Carl Jung's concept of individuation is about integrating all parts of yourself, light and dark to become whole. The co-worker who annoys you, the friend who betrays you, they're not just obstacles. They're invitations to grow, to see yourself more clearly. Let's reflect for a moment. Who in your life has triggered you in a way that felt too intense to be random? Maybe it's a family member who criticizes you, or a partner who pushed you to question your worth. Carl Jung reminds us that these people are mirrors, reflecting your shadow to help you heal. Have you ever felt an instant connection with someone, like your soul recognized them before your mind could catch up? Or maybe someone entered your life, caused chaos, and left you wondering why they were there at all. These aren't random encounters, they're soul contracts. Invisible agreements your soul made long before you met them. In Carl Jung's philosophy, every person who crosses your path is part of a divine plan, sent to teach you, challenge you, or awaken you. Welcome to Chapter 3 at Jung Psyche Hub, where we'll uncover the third shocking truth. The people in your life are part of soul contracts, divine agreements designed to spark your growth and guide you toward wholeness. Through Carl Jung's lens, we'll see how these contracts, whether joyful or painful, are sacred assignments for your soul's evolution. Carl Jung believed that the collective unconscious connects us all, weaving a tapestry of experiences that transcend time and space. Within this tapestry, soul contracts are like threads, binding you to others for a purpose. These aren't contracts you sign with a pen. They're energetic agreements, forged in the realm of the unconscious, to help you grow into your true self. Some people enter your life to love you, lifting you up when you're lost. Others challenge you, exposing wounds you've buried. And some, Carl Jung would say, are sent to break you open, forcing you to face truths you've avoided. As Carl Jung put it, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Every soul contract is a catalyst, sparking change to push you toward individuation, the process of becoming whole. Let's meet Maria, a 29-year-old writer who always struggled with setting boundaries. She fell into a friendship with Chloe, a charismatic but demanding person who seemed to thrive on drama. Maria poured her energy into supporting Chloe, often at the cost of her own peace. But when Chloe dismissed Maria's needs one too many times, Maria hit a breaking point. She ended the friendship, feeling both liberated and guilty. Reflecting on it, Maria realized Chloe wasn't just a friend, she was a soul contract, sent to teach her the power of saying no. That painful ending wasn't a failure, it was a lesson in self-worth, helping Maria grow stronger. Carl Jung would call this a synchronistic encounter, perfectly timed to push Maria toward her authentic self. Have you ever had a relationship that felt like a tough lesson, but left you stronger? This is the third shocking truth. Every person in your life is part of a soul contract, a divine agreement for your growth. Carl Jung taught that these contracts are orchestrated by the collective unconscious, aligning people with your soul's needs at the right moment. The lover who lifts you up is teaching you to trust in love. The friend who betrays you is showing you where to set boundaries. Even the stranger who says one sentence that changes your perspective is fulfilling a contract, delivering a message your soul was ready to hear. These encounters aren't about comfort, they're about transformation. Carl Jung believed that life uses people to deliver lessons, whether through joy or pain, to guide you toward individuation. Maria's friendship with Chloe was painful, but it was no accident. It was a divine assignment to help her claim her power. So, how do you honor these soul contracts? Carl Jung's wisdom suggests approaching every relationship with intention. Instead of seeing people as good or bad, ask what they're here to teach you. This shift in perspective turns pain into purpose. For Maria, Ending her friendship with Chloe wasn't just about walking away, it was about recognizing the lesson in self-respect. Carl Jung would say that soul contracts are activated when you're ready to grow, even if you don't feel ready. The key is to stay open to the lesson, whether it comes from a kind word or a heartbreak. By embracing the purpose behind each encounter, you align with the universe's plan for your evolution. Here's a practical tip. Try the lesson reflection exercise. After a significant interaction, whether it's a joyful connection or a painful conflict, take 10 minutes to journal. Ask, what is this person teaching me about myself? Write down how their presence makes you feel and what it might reveal about your needs, fears, or strengths. For Maria, journaling helped her see that Chloe's demands mirrored her own struggle to prioritize herself. This exercise revealed a pattern from her childhood, where she felt she had to please others to be loved. Carl Jung taught that naming these lessons brings the unconscious into consciousness, turning relationships into stepping stones for growth. Try it. It's a simple way to uncover the hidden purpose behind the people in your life. Soul contracts aren't always about keeping people close. Sometimes they're about letting go. Carl Jung believed that some contracts are brief, like a stranger's words that shift your path, while others are intense, like a toxic relationship that forces you to change. Maria's contract with Chloe wasn't meant to last forever. It was meant to teach her boundaries. When she let go, she didn't just end a friendship. She honored the lesson and made space for healthier connections. Carl Jung would say this is the essence of individuation, recognizing when a contract is complete and moving forward with gratitude. Every person, no matter how brief their role, is part of your soul's journey to wholeness. Let's reflect for a moment. Who in your life has felt like a soul contract, teaching you a lesson you didn't expect? Maybe it's a friend who showed you your strength, or someone who hurt you but left you wiser. Carl Jung reminds us that these contracts are divine, guiding you toward your true self. What if the people who hurt you most weren't your enemies, but your greatest teachers, the lover who broke your heart, the friend who betrayed your trust, the stranger who left you feeling small? Those moments of pain weren't random. They were sacred invitations to heal, to grow, to become whole. In Carl Jung's philosophy, pain is not a punishment, it's a portal to transformation. Welcome to Chapter 4, a Jung Psyche Hub, where we'll uncover the fourth shocking truth. The wounds inflicted by others are your teachers, guiding you through pain to discover your strength and authenticity. Through Carl Jung's lens, we'll explore how these painful encounters, synchronistic by design, are essential to your soul's journey toward individuation, turning heartbreak into healing. Carl Jung believed that suffering is a catalyst for consciousness. He famously said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." The people who wound you, whether through betrayal, abandonment, or rejection, are not accidents. They're part of the universe's plan to make your unconscious conscious. These wounds crack open your defenses, exposing the parts of you that need healing: your fears, your insecurities, your unacknowledged pain. Carl Jung taught that the collective unconscious orchestrates these encounters, sending people to mirror your deepest wounds so you can face them. That heartbreak wasn't meant to destroy you, it was meant to reveal you, to burn away the illusions keeping you from your true self. The universe doesn't send comfort, it sends clarity. And sometimes clarity comes through the fire of pain. Let's meet Liam, a 5-year-old teacher who always saw himself as a giver. He poured his heart into a relationship with Emma, a partner who seemed perfect at first, charming, attentive, full of promises. But over time, Emma's affection turned cold, and she left without explanation, leaving Liam shattered. He spent months replaying their moments, wondering what he did wrong. The pain was unbearable, but it forced Liam to look within. Through therapy, He realized Emma's abandonment echoed a childhood wound, his fear of not being enough. Emma wasn't just a partner, she was a synchronistic mirror, reflecting a pain Liam had buried for years. By facing that wound, Liam began to rebuild his self-worth, learning to love himself without needing external validation. Emma's betrayal wasn't a failure, it was a teacher, guiding Liam towards healing. Have you ever had a wound that felt like a wake-up call, pushing you to grow? This is the fourth shocking truth. The wounds caused by others are your teachers, sent to help you heal and evolve. Carl Jung's concept of individuation is about integrating all parts of yourself, light and dark, strength and pain. The people who hurt you are part of this process, holding up mirrors to your unhealed wounds. That friend who ghosted you, they're teaching you to value your own presence. The partner who manipulated you, they're showing you where to set boundaries. Carl Jung believed these painful encounters are synchronistic, timed perfectly by the collective unconscious to push you toward growth. Liam's heartbreak wasn't random, it was a divine interruption, forcing him to confront his fear of unworthiness. By embracing the lesson, he didn't just heal, he became stronger, more authentic, and closer to his true self. But how do you turn pain into a teacher? Carl Jung's wisdom points to radical acceptance. Instead of resisting the hurt or blaming the person who caused it, lean into the wound with curiosity. Ask, what is this pain revealing about me? This isn't about excusing bad behavior, it's about reclaiming your power. For Liam, accepting the pain meant seeing Emma's departure as a lesson, not a verdict on his worth. Carl Jung taught that pain is a portal to the shadow, the hidden parts of you that need love and integration. By facing the wound, and you transform it into wisdom, turning betrayal into boundaries, rejection into resilience. The people who hurt you aren't here to break you, they're here to help you break through. Here's a practical tip. Try the wound to wisdom. Meditation. Find a quiet space and spend 10 minutes reflecting on a painful relationship. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and visualize the person who hurt you. Ask, what wound did you bring to light? What strength am I meant to find? Let any emotions, anger, sadness, fear flow without judgment. Write down what comes up. For Liam, this meditation revealed his childhood belief that he had to earn love. By naming it, he could start healing it, replacing self-doubt with self-compassion. Carl Jung believed that bringing pain into consciousness weakens its hold, allowing you to grow. This practice isn't easy. It might stir up raw emotions, but it's a powerful way to turn wounds into wisdom. Try it, and you might find clarity in the pain. These wounds don't just teach you about pain, they reveal your resilience. Carl Jung saw suffering as a crucible, forging strength you didn't know you had. When Liam faced his fear of unworthiness, he discovered a quiet confidence. He started setting boundaries, pursuing hobbies he'd neglected, and connecting with people who valued him. The wound Emma left became a teacher, showing Liam he was enough, just as he was. Carl Jung would say this is the alchemy of individuation, turning the lead of pain into the gold of self-awareness. The people who hurt you are part of this alchemy, sent to help you transmute suffering into strength. They're not your enemies, they're your initiators, guiding you through the fire to your true self. But what about the pain that feels too heavy to bear? Carl Jung acknowledged that not all wounds heal quickly. Some betrayals cut deep, leaving scars that linger. Yet even these are part of your soul's curriculum. The key is to honor the pain without letting it define you. Liam didn't heal overnight, he cried, journaled, and sought therapy. But each step brought him closer to wholeness. Carl Jung taught that the collective unconscious sends these teachers at the right time, even when it feels unbearable. The pain is a signal that your soul is ready to grow, to shed old beliefs and embrace new strength. By seeing the wound as a teacher, you reclaim your power, turning heartbreak into a sacred initiation. Let's pause and reflect. Who in your life has caused a wound that taught you something profound? Maybe it's a betrayal that showed you your worth, or a rejection that pushed you to set boundaries. Carl Jung reminds us that these wounds are not punishments, they're teachers, guiding you toward individuation. Have you ever chased love, validation, or closure from someone, only to realize the real answer was inside you all along? Every person who enters your life, whether they lift you up, break you down, or leave without a word, is part of a cosmic journey leading you back to yourself. In Carl Jung's philosophy, these encounters aren't about finding someone to complete you. They're about remembering who you already are. Welcome to Chapter 5 at Jung's Psyche Hub, where we'll uncover the fifth shocking truth: the people in your life. Through synchronicity, it guides you to the ultimate destination, your true self. Through Carl Jung's lens, we'll see how these soul contracts, mirrors, and wounds are all designed to help you return to your authentic power, where you are the answer you've been seeking. Carl Jung taught that the path to individuation, becoming your whole self, is a journey inward. He said, "He who looks outside dreams, he who looks inside awakes." The people who cross your path, whether they bring joy or pain, are synchronistic messengers sent by the collective unconscious to point you back to your own light. The lover who left you wasn't meant to be your forever. They were meant to show you the love you'd forgotten to give yourself. The friend who betrayed you wasn't a mistake. They were a mirror, reflecting where you needed to set boundaries. Carl Jung believed that every relationship is a lesson, not in finding external validation, but in reclaiming your inner sovereignty. The universe doesn't send people to save you. It sends them to remind you that you are your own savior. Let's meet Sarah, a 3-4-year-old nurse who spent years searching for love to fill a void she couldn't name. She fell hard for James, a charming co-worker who seemed to see her in a way no one else had. But when James grew distant and eventually ended things, Sarah felt lost, convinced she wasn't enough. Heartbroken, she turned to journaling, asking why she kept chasing people who left. Through reflection, she uncovered a pattern. She'd been seeking validation from others since childhood. When she felt invisible in her family, James wasn't just a partner, he was a synchronistic mirror, reflecting Sarah's unhealed need for external approval. Instead of spiraling, Sarah started a practice of self-love, writing letters to herself and setting boundaries in relationships. James's departure wasn't a loss, it was a catalyst, leading Sarah to realize she was the answer she'd been seeking. Have you ever had a moment where someone's absence taught you to choose yourself? This is the fifth shocking truth. The people in your life are guides leading you back to yourself, where your true power lies. Carl Jung's concept of individuation is about integrating all parts of you, your wounds, your strengths, your shadow, into a whole, authentic self. Every soul contract, every mirror, every wound is a step on this journey. The friend who lifts you up reminds you of your worth. The betrayal that breaks you teaches you resilience. Even the stranger who passes through briefly can spark a realization that changes your path. Carl Jung believed that synchronicity orchestrates these encounters to awaken you, not to someone else's love, but to your own. Sarah's heartbreak wasn't the end. It was a divine redirection, guiding her to a love that no one could take away her own. So, how do you return to yourself? Carl Jung's wisdom suggests embracing every encounter as a lesson in self-discovery. Instead of asking, "Why did they leave me?" ask, "What part of me am I being called to reclaim?" This shift transforms pain into purpose, loss into liberation. For Sarah, letting go of James meant letting go of the belief that she needed someone else to feel whole. Carl Jung taught that the collective unconscious sends people to mirror your inner world, helping you see what needs healing or celebrating. By honoring these lessons, you step into your sovereignty, where your worth doesn't depend on who stays, but on who you choose to be. The universe isn't trying to break you, it's trying to wake you, guiding you back to the truth that you are enough. Here's a practical tip. Create a self-love ritual. Every week, set aside 15 minutes to honor yourself. Write a letter to your inner self, acknowledging your strengths, forgiving your mistakes, and affirming your worth. You might say, "Dear me, I'm proud of how you've grown through pain." Or try a daily affirmation, "I am whole. I am enough." Sarah started this ritual, writing letters that helped her reconnect with her inner child, the part that felt unloved. Carl Jung believed that loving yourself is a radical act of individuation, aligning you with your true self. This ritual isn't about ego, it's about remembering your divinity. Try it, and watch how it shifts the way you see yourself and your relationships. This return to self is not a destination, it's a practice. Carl Jung saw individuation as a lifelong journey, where every person you meet is a guide, pointing you inward. Sarah's ritual didn't erase her pain, but it gave her a foundation to stand on. She stopped chasing people who couldn't see her and started attracting those who celebrated her authenticity. Carl Jung would say this is the magic of synchronicity. As you heal and integrate your shadow, the universe sends people who mirror your growth, not your wounds. The lover who leaves, the friend who betrays, they're not here to define you. They're here to refine you, polishing the edges of your soul until you shine with your own light. But what if the journey feels lonely? Carl Jung acknowledged that returning to yourself can feel isolating, especially when you let go of people who no longer align with your truth. Yet this loneliness is sacred. It's the space where you rediscover your power. Sarah felt alone at first, but in that solitude, she found peace, creativity, and a voice she'd silenced for years. Carl Jung taught that true wholeness comes from within, not from external validation. The people who enter your life are temporary guides, but you are the constant, the answer, the home, the light. By embracing this, you become a magnet for relationships that honor your authenticity, not your need for approval. Let's reflect for a moment. Who in your life has pushed you to return to yourself, to choose your own love and power? Maybe it's someone who left, showing you your strength, or someone who stayed, reminding you of your worth. Carl Jung reminds us that every encounter is a step toward individuation, leading you back to the truth that you are the answer. And here we are, at the end of this transformative journey. But really, it's just the beginning. You've uncovered Carl Jung's 5 shocking truths about why people enter your life not by chance, but as synchronistic messengers, mirrors, and teachers guiding you back to your true self. From the cosmic winks of synchronicity to the reflections of your shadow, from soul contracts to the wounds that spark healing. Every person, every lover, friend, or stranger has been part of your soul's choreography, leading you to individuation. Carl Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Now, you're not just living, you're awakening, stepping into a life where you trust the timing, honor the lessons, and choose yourself unapologetically. So, what's next? This isn't the end of your journey, it's a call to action. Take these truths and carry them forward. The next time someone enters your life, ask, "What are you here to teach me?" The next time pain knocks, see it as a teacher, not a punishment. And most importantly, Choose yourself every day. In every moment. Here's your invitation. Drop a comment below and declare, I trust the timing. I honor the lessons. I choose me. Share your story. Who's been a mirror, a wound, or a guide in your life? Your words might just be the spark someone else needs to awaken. If this journey cracked something open in you, hit that like button. Subscribe to Jung Psyche Hub. And ring the bell for more soul-stirring wisdom. Share this video with someone who's ready to see their relationships as divine assignments, not random encounters. Together, let's keep unraveling the universe's plan. One truth at a time. Thank you for being here. Your awakening is changing the world. See you in the next journey at Jung Psyche Hub.